This is the Feelgrounds Patrol Winter, and it is the ultimate Timberland substitute. Now, especially when it comes to this colorway, they have updated. This is the version 2, that's the improved version. The version 1 is on discount. If there is still your size available, I absolutely recommend them. There is not much of a difference. This is supposed to have a more durable sole. I'm not sure what the actual difference is. I have yet to try the grip, but the soles feel the same. So maybe it's just the compound within that changes. So I wouldn't expect a big difference. Now, there are many things to talk about when it comes to the shoe. First of all, as you can see, it's the closest you're gonna get to a Timberland copy. Yes, you have some Bilenkas, like maybe the Nevada, but it has like a triple collar that looks cringe and weird. And all of them, whenever you go for like, there is an option from coil as well. But unfortunately, none of those look like a Timberland mainly because of the sole. They have those thin barefooty soles. That doesn't work when it comes to Timberland, because if you actually look at the Timberland shoe, the most badass component of it is the outsole, especially because it has a bit of the rise in the front. You can see the lugs, right? So it's like this, maybe kind of, but with bigger lugs. And this is the closest you're gonna get. Of course, you should absolutely look at my previous review of the Patrol Winter. The same goes for this. It is nice and warm. Some people say too warm. I disagree. I think it's fine for most situations. And also, you can change the felt insole for something more breathable, or maybe no insole at all if you're looking for more ventilation. Now, the big point of those shoes is, of course, the looks, but also this material. Now, it's gonna be synthetic leather. Not the best thing, but it has some properties that you should absolutely consider. If you look at my previous videos of the previous version of the Patrol Winter, you will see that this thing is completely waterproof, also completely water repellent, so it's not gonna stay wet and slowly soak through or slowly freeze your feet. It will be dry, literally as you're still in the mountain, it will become dry. Like, I have some snow here. Like, I can like grab some snow on it, whatever. It's gonna get a bit wet, but I mean, just look at the previous videos. Like, the humidity is gonna go right off. Like, it's not even a factor. And also, if you get in the mud, and I certainly did that with the previous version, if you get in the mud, absolutely perfect, because you can clean them very easily. You just spray some water with some pressure on them, and it's good. The mud is gone. Now, real leather, the mud is gonna soak through a bit, so not only is it gonna rot the leather slowly, of course you can treat the leather, but that's another story, but also it's gonna stay stained. So if you have like a colorful version like this, if you take your Timberlands, actual Timberlands in the mud, especially with nubuck and suede, because they're fluffy, or any kind of rough out leather, it's gonna stain like crazy. Especially in the wet, it's gonna look off for sure. Now, maybe you don't mind that, but this thing is like Superman, you know, it's Clark Kent when it looks like that, then it becomes Superman, goes in the mud, then you just spray it off, hose it off, wipe it, it's dry again, and you can wear it like Clark Kent at the office. So this is a powerful material. And in this version, I'm not sure if it's the color or the version, I think it's the version, because that's a very different grainy kind of synthetic leather here. That's very grainy. It's not like the other one has some spots. The previous version, I don't have it here. I decided to do this review in the mountains, so I don't have the Timberlands or the previous version to compare, but I will be showing you maybe some b-roll if I have to. But in any case, this also has vertical and, you know, kind of random shapes of cuts, so it looks very, very convincing, especially from a distance. You're gonna think that's the real deal, it's gonna look like real leather. Of course it isn't. There is also some wrinkling here. I mean, Feelgrounds should work on this wrinkling, because this pair, I actually got another pair, but that was fine. This pair is wrinkly, and that bothers me. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. Maybe it's gonna straighten out with use. I'm not sure about that. And when it comes to the other qualities, this is very, very light, extremely light actually. Very, very flexible for what it is. Of course, it feels a bit booty. It's not like a sneaker, like other boots that you will see in future reviews. But it's very, very comfortable, so it's also light, so you wouldn't bother with that. You will never ever get wet feet, because it's not only the material but also the membrane and the seam seals and the fairy felt on the inside. So yeah, that's it when it comes to the pros here on the shoe. Now I do have some things I would like to see different. They're not necessary, but I think they will really upgrade the look, because obviously here they're going for a Timberland copy. So I would say go all out. Make the most similar version you can. First of all, those grommets here on the laces, those look hipstery and cheap. I don't like that. I think I might actually take them to the cobbler. If they can put in some grommets from the similar to the Timberland premiums that are like nice and shiny and they have edges and stuff, they're not this round hipstery look, I think this is going to look 10 times better just from the grommets alone. The premium feel is very important when it comes to the boot like this. Then of course you do have the double stitching. Now the Timberlands have the quadruple stitching. I would obviously prefer quadruple stitching, but I'm not sure what the stitching even does and how it works, so I cannot comment on technical stuff. The heel loop, now okay, sometimes companies cannot win because it's nice and chunky, it's very powerful. I mean, the Sons of Silver complained that there was no heel loop. Actually, there was a bit of a lip in the previous version. They complained that they couldn't put it on easily. I don't have that problem. Yes, obviously the tongue is gusseted and the material is not stiff but not very stretchy. So obviously it's gonna be relatively harder to put them on than some others. But if you like open them up nice and wide, you will be fine. And also in the previous versions I have elastic laces. You can get those from Feelgrounds, or like I did, get them from AliExpress for like 2 or 3 euros, and then they become slip-on. You will have zero problems, just slip them on. So the thing with the heel loop is, it's good and it's useful, but it doesn't go with this kind of boot. They don't have heel loops. You don't see that. Timberland don't have them. Timberland copies don't have them. Many similar brands don't have that. It's not a big issue, but I would think maybe change that. And also the double collar, that's the Timberland basic has a double collar, but the premium has a single collar. And I think the single collar probably looks better, but I'm not sure. That's a very small thing. Now the big change, of course, would be material, and the other change, sole. I say keep this because this sole looks aggressive enough to make it look badass like a Timberland, but at the same time, and it is very good on pavement and you know, wet terrain, whatever, you're gonna be fine with this. That's solid sole. But I think there should be another version. Maybe call it the trail or whatever. Some other kind of version where you have bigger lugs, just like a Timberland. Of course, they don't have to be that big. But you can see, we have seen from the Vivo ESC line, like the Magna and the Tracker and stuff, in the jungle, the ESC line has big lugs, but it's still extremely flexible. Actually, the ESC line is massive. Look at this. There is no this kind of flexibility here. The ESC line, you can do whatever you want with the sole, and the lugs are much bigger. So you can still have big lugs with flexible sole. Of course, you're gonna sacrifice some ground feel, and they're not gonna be that great on pavement, but that's not an issue because again, that's gonna be a separate version. You can make like a trail version or whatever you're gonna call it. So if you have the bigger lugs, it's gonna look absolutely badass, I guarantee you. Just from the lugs and the grommet, you already have a much better looking boot, much closer to the actual Timberland. And then when it comes to the material, of course, they're gonna be vegan, so they will use plastic. You don't have to use plastic, I think. Of course, I wouldn't say there is an easy solution. Yes, there is mushroom leather and stuff, but that's probably not very durable. It's gonna cost a lot of money on R&D, I get that. But for example, Frit uses recycled leather. Now, recycled leather is ethical because it scraps, and you blend them with some plastic, and you get a better result. I would like to see that, but maybe they're still against it because it contains some animal stuff. So it's up to them, really. I like also the Frit Tundra. I like that leather too, but this is comparable. It's not that different. Now, surprisingly, the best synthetic leather I've ever seen, the most convincing, to the point that I had to go actually back on the website and see if it actually isn't real leather, was from a Amazon boot that I got for like 15 euros. 15, it was 20, but I had some bonuses anyway. For a 20 euro Amazon boot actually made the most convincing leather. It was so soft and supple. I'm going to be making a review of those boots. But in any case, with this pattern, it's fine. Whatever. You don't have to change it. But I would like to see some real leather or some recycled leather. Or maybe you could come up with the fake suede or fake nubuck. That's very easy to make. That's basically like comparing fleece to wool. They're not that different. So I think a fake or synthetic or whatever you're gonna call it, nubuck would absolutely complete the look. So imagine if you have synthetic nubuck, Of course, it's not gonna dry as easily, but anyway. But just imagine, synthetic nubuck, the grommets from the premium Timberlands, a bit of a more aggressive sole in a trail version. Now they do have a bit of a rise in the front, which makes them look better. Now that's not very barefooty. You could maybe add a little bit of a rise, just a tiny bit, but I wouldn't ask you to do that because that's not barefoot. So just imagine those three, like the synthetic nubuck, grommets, bigger sole. You already have, it's gonna be already like very, very close to Timberland. So that's basically my only criticism when it comes. It basically is about looks and about the upper material. But this upper material is very convincing. Like, I'm not sure you can see the grains on that. They know what they're doing. It has like random grains and stuff. I'm not sure how they do that, but it just mimics leather absolutely. So yeah, great option again. And also another recommendation, the Patrol Light. I don't have that yet. Oh, by the way, they sent me this for review, but I have bought like maybe 10 pairs from them already, so don't think I'm not putting my money where my mouth is. I got to send me this, thank God, I'm very grateful for that, and it looks amazing. So yeah, the previous one, my money as well. And also go get the previous one if you can still get it on discount. Sure, maybe not the same durability as this sole, but it's so similar that whatever, just save the money if you have the right size. And sure, it looks a bit worse because it doesn't have the honey sole. The honey sole is amazing, but, and this also is black, I think, I'm not sure. But in any case, yeah, you could also get the previous version if you want to. Otherwise, get the premium guys here. I'm not sure if there even is enough sizes on the previous version. In this color there were, but now they may be sold out. So yeah, when it comes to the lights, I would also like to see seamed seals, because they don't seam the seals on the lights, but it's the same material, which is very water repellent. So if you just seam the seals, it's going to be very, very water repellent without getting hot with a membrane and the fur like the winter. So yeah, that's it on my end. Absolutely recommend this shoe if you're looking for a casual version, for something that looks like Timberland. Of course, you're not gonna fool anyone from up close, but walking around, nobody's gonna be like, well, what is that? Plus, many people wear fakes anyway. So the point is, you will get the style you want. That's what matters there. So yeah, that's it from me. Absolutely recommend this boot, and hopefully my suggestions are considered in a future version, maybe a trail version or whatever. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.